Hi guys, Dave here for Dave Outdoors. Today I'd just like to go through my personal survival kit. That's the kit that I carry on me in my pockets when I'm out in the bush. So thanks for tuning in. A couple of weeks ago I went for a bit of a walk around in some bush in my local area. So it was a good day out. I'd explored some new bush that I hadn't been in before, and I also got a chance to really rethink my personal survival kit. Well, what happened there is I tried to boil up a brew. Just get a cup of hot water going to have a cup of tea, and for the life of me, I couldn't get it going. Up to that point, we'd had about 2 solid weeks of just sun, and it was blistering hot, so the place was tinder dry. But then we had about 2 days off and on of rain, and then another day of sunshine, another day and a half of sunshine. So everything was still reasonably dry. But even the dead standing moss and twigs and sticks that should have been dry by that stage still had some moisture in them, and I could not get that fire going. I could get it lit, but it couldn't sustain itself, and it couldn't produce the heat to boil the water. So it was quite a good learning curve, because I really thought about my personal survival kit. Would have I really had to rely on that in a genuine situation? I wouldn't have been able to get a fire going. I wouldn't have been able to boil water to make it safe. If I'd gotten myself a game animal, I wouldn't have been able to cook the meat. So I just want to go through now my personal survival kit and how I've revamped it. So I'll start off first with what I have in my pocket, my top pocket. And in there, I carry a thermal. This is just a polypropylene short sleeve t-shirt. And I'm always either wearing a polypropylene or I'm carrying it in one of my pockets. Today it's just too hot to wear it, so I'm carrying it in my pocket. It'll either be short sleeve or long sleeve. These things, they really do regulate the body temperature really, really well. I often wear one in summertime with a t-shirt over the top, and it keeps me dry. I don't overheat, and when you sit down and take a rest break, and the sweat that's on you and the clothing starts to cool down, I don't get chills, because this has already moved the sweat further away from my skin. So great piece of equipment. In a situation, if I had to spend the night out in the bush, I would take this top layer off, put my thermal on next to my skin, put this shirt over the top again. This shirt here will help hold the heat in, stops the wind from whipping the warmth out of this polypropylene, which it does very easy, and it also acts as a windbreaker and a bit of a moisture barrier as well for the rain. What I also have here in the pocket, I haven't got cargo pocket on these trowel, which new ones I'm testing out, so I have to carry these in my main pocket. Firstly, what I'm carrying in here is about 1 meter, so it's that roughly 3 feet of plastic tubing. This is food grade tubing. What you can use this for is a tourniquet. I haven't tried it, but I believe I can cut strips off it and light it. So I believe this will hold a flame. So that'll act as tinder as well. But the main reason for this is water. So I can put moss in there to act as a filter, maybe at either end. And with a meter, I can stick this down into a crack in a tree or a crack between rocks, really hard to get to water supply, that's all that's there, and get a drink. Water being crucial to survival, of course. For the value, a lifesaver with a way to get some water, it's pretty good. What I also carry in there is rubbish bags, translated in Northern Hemisphere as trash bags. And I carry 4 of them. Now these can be used to hold water. I can climb into it and use them as sleeping bags to hold my body heat in. It'll be wet in there and sweaty, but at least I'll be warm. You can also even inflate these and use them to make a makeshift raft and cross creeks or rivers. It also acts as a poncho. It acts as a shelter, and it's just 4 rubbish bags. Where I got this idea from was a YouTube channel called Taro Movies. Taro Movies, T-A-R-O-M-O-V-I-E-S, Taro Movies. Really worth checking out. Great channel. the final item I carry, this is where I really had to rethink, is everything's stuck in my pockets today. Please be with me. Is what I carry in here. First off, I've just had my open L knife. This is a number 8, I believe it is. Locks off nicely. It's just stainless steel with an olive wood handle on it. And I olive wood because I just like it. I really like that color, that kind of wood. But stainless steel because I don't really want to have to worry about when I really go to use it and the edge is not the best that it could be because of corrosion and things like that. So I prefer stainless steel. So the humidity in the New Zealand bush is, as I said before, being quite a major. So for me, stainless steel is my choice. And fire, as I found out, being crucially important there. Sorry for this, I'm going to have to keep moving. That sun keeps moving and it keeps wanting to mess up my shots. So I'm going to have to keep moving and stay in the dark a little bit, I think, just so I don't get overexposed. Oh, that sounds frightening. Here's what I carry here. A small Altoids tin or a little mint tin and some tin foil. This tin foil here, you just open it up, put it on the ground, and it's a barrier between the dampness on the ground coming up into the wood. The heat from the fire will draw the moisture out of the ground and out of the wood that you're using. So I want as little moisture affecting that fire as possible. Also I have here is bank line. There we go. 4 meters of bank line, which is waxed nylon or tarred nylon string, essentially. Good if I need cordage for anything, and also for fishing, things like that. Got a Ranger band, holds my tin, come a bit closer, looks like the sun's going on. I've got a Ranger band here, it holds my tin closed, and all this is kept in a plastic bag as well. Now, try and pull everything out without tipping it everywhere. So, personal survival kit. First thing I carry in there is a little magnifying glass. As you can see that. It's a Fresnel lens, so it means it can pinpoint the sun's heat and help start a fire that way. I don't really know how good that's going to be in the bush out here because of the humidity, but it has that option. But I can also see thorns or anything that's inside my skin, stuck inside my skin, and it helps me get them out as well. I use my knife and help dig them out a little bit. So Fresnel lens, that is magnification times 4. This is the striker for my matches. I removed the ferro rod from my survival kit and I replaced it with more matches. That's just the striker for the matches. Cotton wool, always really useful. Lights up really easy. That's not Vaseline cotton wool, that's just normal cotton wool. I have a little button compass. I'll try and hold my hand here, hopefully you can see them. Just a little button compass there. Useful, yeah, you know, points direction and stuff like that. It's not, I wouldn't really rely on it for any major navigation, but it just gives me a general idea. But it fits inside the tin, so it's a handy little thing to have. I've got a needle and thread in here. That's what that is. There's our needle. Got some thread wrapped around it, and then some cargo tape, duct tape, wrapped around that to hold it all together. Next, what I have is inner tube. Bicycle inner tube. Great for starting fires. You've got to get a flame on it to get it going, but it burned for quite a while, and I put tinder on top of that. Even some damp tinder might get it going a bit better. Again, I tried all these sorts of things with my fire a couple of weeks ago, and it was still too damp to get it going. So the more I have, the better. More I have, the more chance I have of getting it going. Fish hooks, just held together in a little plastic bag there. That with the bank line, and I got myself a little fishing kit. Again, related to fire, I've got these guys. These are little Esbit fuel tablets. These aren't the large squares. It's not a broken up square tablet that you use for cooking. These are just the little flame tablets that they have now. You get about, I don't know, about 2 dozen, I guess, or 20 in a little box. but they fit inside the kit really nice and gives me 4 opportunities to get the flame going. So as you can see, I've really concentrated on fire in this kit. I showed the bank line, which I can use for fishing line. I had fishing hooks, small selection of fishing hooks, and I've got 2 sinkers there. 2 lead sinkers for my fishing kit. And then the cargo tape, which is duct tape, waterproof duct tape. I just had it rolled up just around itself, so it's in just a small tube, or a small tube shape. So repairs anything, and it's really good as a first aid kit. About the most basic first aid kit you can get, I guess, but really useful if you do need it. You just cut strips off it, and if you have a deep open wound there, you can just cut a strip off and put it across it like that, across the open wound, and pinch that wound closed to keep the dirt out. Use your bandana, clean the wound out as much as possible, and then use your cargo tape as sutures, or just a whole tape right across it. Good for emergency waxing if you come across a nice bushwoman out there. One to look your best. The last thing I have is matches. Show you. That's all of them there. I have about 20 of them in there. I'll pull some out and get a better look at them. These are those wind resistant and waterproof matches that you can get. That's them there. So taking the ferro rod out, I had a mini ferro rod in my little personal survival kit. I took that out and I was able to, I guess size wise, able to get like maybe 2 or 3 more matches in there. Doesn't sound like a lot, it's not, but with these I'll almost definitely get a fire lit. I chose these instead. I think it's just a better combination. In a survival situation, thankfully I have never been in one, but I want to always be prepared, and I want to go with what I know will give me the best option. And having something that will produce flame rather than something that might produce flame, to me, that swings me towards the flame. So windproof and waterproof matches over a ferro rod in my basic survival kit. I've got about 20 matches in here, so that's 20 fires. How long do I plan on surviving for? I'll either cark it by that time, or I'll be rescued. So that essentially is how I've updated my survival kit. I really went for the flame side of things and the ability to produce fire. I added the plastic tubing in so that I could get water. But with the bank line, I can make a snare. If I catch an animal, then I can cook it and the meat's safe to eat. Got a knife where I can skin the animal. I've got a knife and a magnifying glass where I can pull thorns and help fix wounds in my body. The cargo tape I can use as first aid, as a first aid kit, as like a band-aid or sutures. Close that wound up. And then I've got emergency plastic bags which I can use to keep me out of the rain and give me a warm night's sleep. I've got a piece of foil I can put on the ground to act as a barrier between the moisture and the fire, that crucial fire that I'm trying to get going. And again, I have a fishing kit and a compass. So that's it. That's my new and revamped personal survival kit. If I lose everything else, then what I've got is these in my pockets. I've got something on me that I can use right there and then, so to keep me alive. So thanks guys, thanks for tuning in.